Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to LEGO Space. Today, with an exciting video, we are finally done with the Afterlife Ecto and the Frozen Empire Ecto. And we're gonna kind of walk through them a little bit. I won't get too crazy. You guys saw a lot of stuff as I was building these. I tried to be pretty proficient with making videos and going through some of the details. So today we're just going to kind of enjoy them being done. Visually, I love how they look. You guys know my overall goal for the Afterlife version was to make it look older without going to any extreme things. I did kind of play around with using tan. It was too dark. Just didn't really look that right, so we opted just to go with the stickers. I feel like the stickers came out pretty good, as you guys saw in the last video. Doing those from the photos of the real car, and looking at areas on the car where rust was needed and not overdoing it. Even though I used a ton of stickers, still went with more is less type, and didn't use most of the bigger rust. So I think it came up pretty good. And how cool is it, guys, just to sit back and just look at both of these cars side by side and get to see a full version of the Frozen Empire car. That's pretty cool, because nobody has that yet. So as far as I know, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, I'm the first person to build that version in high detail, and not just do the Lego set build with some color changes. This was off of the mock from Lynn's on Rebrickable, along with a ton of my own changes to build that beautiful Frozen Empire version. And I love how these cars look. Forget the poor lighting out front, guys. My lights only go so far, and I only have one light in the center of the room, but you really get to see how they look. I love the lights. Going with the lighter blue lights on the Afterlife version definitely helps give it a older look, along with the rust. And I just think these things look absolutely fantastic together. Two beautiful cars to add to the collection. And as you guys know, now I have all four. And we're gonna see that not next video, but the video after that. I'm gonna get all four of the cars on the table, and we're gonna go through all four of them, and for the first time actually be able to see all four cars side by side by side. So it's gonna be really cool. My next video is actually going to be kind of a viewer request for the rack. As I talked about in my past videos, I do plan on making some upgrades to my other two Ectos that I made on these. Specifically this one, because that's a whole different rack style. We're basically going to be working just between the original Ecto-1 and then the Afterlife Ecto-1, because as we know, the 1A has a completely different rack style as well. But there are some modifications that I did to this one that I didn't do to the other one. So I'm going to show you guys some differences between the mock version and then my version. And then I'll do my best to give you somewhat of a parts list. I'm not totally awesome at being that prepared, but I'm going to try my best. So that way you guys can kind of see just a little bit more what it took to get the rack a little bit more prototypical. That was the name of the game when building these, was being prototypical, going off of the prototype, the real car, working from pictures, endlessly working from pictures. And like I talked about in a past video, I know there are going to be some changes yet to this one, namely just the interior. I feel like I nailed the exterior of the car per how it is in the movie. Another thing you guys I didn't really lean or show is the silver hoses. For some of you guys that have studied the Frozen Empire version, the hoses are now silver. So I scraped together some silver pipe. I did not have silver pipes long enough, so I did have to connect them a little bit at the top there with some shorter pieces, but nonetheless, we have nice silver pipes on the new version. But yeah, so I know the interior is probably going to be a little different. I strongly doubt, very strongly doubt that the RC car is going to be shown in this video, since we have the drone. So I don't know if the RC pit is still going to be in the back of the car. I don't know how much of the interior of the car they're going to show in the movie, but I will be studying that when the movie does come out and I go see it, and we will make changes if necessary, if I can see anything different. If they don't really show me anything different and I can't find any really good photos on the internet, then it's just going to stay as is until that time when I can find some better photos of the interior. Luckily, the Afterlife version was heavily photographed and inside and out, so that's basically how I got the interiors for both cars, was working from photos of the Afterlife version. And I love these things, guys. This has been about a month's worth of work, and before that, about a half a year of planning and getting parts. So it's been a long process to get these cars done. Basically the same stuff I went through with the 1 and 1A, but those were a little bit easier because I basically built them per the mock and then made a few changes, but these ones had quite a few changes inside and out. And like I said, I'm going to relay some of those changes to my older cars to make everything look good and updated, and just be as good as can possibly be. That is my goal for these cars, is to have some of the finest Lego Ecto-1s out there. So but you guys tell me, do you like the cars? Do you like how they came out? What do you guys think of my my color fading options on some of the rack details, some of the light details? I feel like it added a lot. We'll do a little side profile here. Enjoy these. I'll try to slide them a little bit underneath the light too. And they are big. That's one of the hardest part, is just going to be finding room for all four of these, because these are not small cars. These are somewhere bigger than, they're bigger than 1/18th scale, so I'm not sure exactly what scale they are, but they are bigger. But you guys got to see in the last update where I kind of went ahead and attached this lower trim to the door like it should have been. And now that all opens up really nice. We have that new frame support where they had to cut down into the car a little bit to make room for the chair to slide out. And then also, I like how far the doors can open. The doors can open very far. They're actually opening further now than what they originally did, because I ended up moving these hose brackets back a little bit further. I had them too far forward. Looking more at some pictures, and I kind of slid them back, and so that kind of worked out in my favor. We'll get those open. You guys can see the trim finally comes with those doors. I love that. Extended the door detail down a little bit further to help, and it's awesome, guys. I love it. The seats, everything worked out really well with those. You guys kind of got to see that build process. And if you didn't go back through my old videos, if you're just kind of tuning in right now, I would strongly suggest looking at my earlier videos, and you guys will see just how many times I changed the interior of this car till I was happy with it. It was a lot of changes, and a lot of them I didn't even video because it was just a lot of time building, taking apart, taking apart. A lot of work. Modified a few details on the back of the seat. I did originally go with the original Lego build version of this seat, and then I naturally had to modify it to fit in the space and then also look better. Those are my two big things. It had to fit and it had to look better. So we made quite a few changes to the seat. If you guys are interested in seeing what I did to the seat, I can totally go through the Lego manual and take off one of these seats and just walk through all what I did. You guys can see we're still on the spring cylinder. That was kind of a big thing for me. I could have just put this on like a tight pin, like a black pin, and just swiveled it by hand. But I like the effect of it locking into place. Of course, keeping that spring cylinder did end up giving me some not requirements, but I was kind of hindered in some areas to make that cylinder work. Nothing bad, and I did a very good job at fitting it in there how I fitted it, or how I fit it in there. Use English. And so I'm really happy with how that came out. The seat, it does have, when it's facing forward, it's actually pretty rigid. Not a lot of bounce in the seat at all. But when I do turn it, that actually loosens it up a bit so that way it can slide back in. That was kind of part of another design requirement, is I needed that to be rigid, and I had to figure out how to make that work. So that was a lot of effort into that, guys. Whole lot of effort. But I love how the gunner seats came out. They look awesome when they're out. They are both built exactly the same. Like I said, guys, the whole interior of both of these cars, and you'll see it in the videos if you've been following along. Same. It was a lot of work to build two of these at the same time, and that's kind of why I decided to build two of them at the same time, because I knew there was no way. It would have taken me twice as long if I just would have built one and then praying that I took enough pictures to know what I did on the inside. So it worked out a lot better just for me to build both at the same time, all the way through. And then right at the very end there, basically just concentrating on some of the rack details, some of the changes. But I'm very happy with how all that works, all that fits nice. These doors, this door particularly, you guys have seen in the videos, this door, and I've talked about it, a lot of headaches, a lot of unknowns and headaches to get these doors to work, to be detailed. A lot of work. So if you have been here for the whole journey, I hope you really appreciate just the amount of work I put into that to get that as close as I could and make it look really good. Nothing was just a thought. Nothing was just, oh, I'll just build this and that's good enough. Nothing was, I never left anything good enough. If I had to tear something all the way back apart to do it, I did it, and that's how it was. It was a lot of work, guys, but it paid off. In my opinion, it paid off. These things are so cool. They look awesome. The amount of detail that I tried to throw at these things was a lot, and it was a lot of work. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video series on these. Definitely one of my longer video series. Normally I don't go 9 videos into a series, but it was 2 cars. It was a lot of work. We'll flip them around to the other side here. So that way we can check out the driver's side of the car. You guys can see those nice silver hoses on there. That was definitely a requirement for that version of the car. And then a couple things I ran into at the end, their little issues, was the ladder and this antenna. I had planned on actually, since the ladder was switched to this side, I was going to have the antenna more in the middle here, and it ended up having some length issues and didn't look good. So I actually ended up raising up where the ladder clicks into up top here. I raised that up 1 plate to get my clearance on that, and then get that back in a better spot. Now on the actual cars, that's one thing I did a little different from the actual cars, is these antennas, they're either just hanging there, or they're tucked under the rack and just tucked there. These Lego ones I actually made points for both of them to actually latch onto, so they're not just flimsy, they're not just like tucked in a place. I felt like that was just, even though it looks good and it works on the actual car, some things just don't translate to Lego very well, or they don't look good in Lego. So I took a kind of a different thing and made mounting points for those antennas, so that way they actually do kind of have a home and they stay in their place and they look good. They hold their position and everything's right with the world. So kind of another big thing was, you know, designing the seat, the gunner seat, to where I could still have this as a functional door. Some of you that have actually built the Lego set version know that that door only exists in looks and not in function. I think it's like either here or here somewhere. They actually turn this into a button that you push, and you have to push it in, and that activates the seat. And if you guys remember, when I first started this project, I was trying to keep the whole original design of that, and it just wasn't working out right. Excuse me. Just wasn't working out right. And it was giving me some issues with adding detail and not really having enough space to do what I wanted to. So most of that went bye-bye. And you guys saw in the earlier videos the kind of redesign I did on this whole little chair slide. It can still be activated from this side now, not all the way, but you can push on this cylinder and get it out a little ways. But you can just as easy open up the other door and pull it out. So, but then again, you know, just it's nice having a fully functional door with full door interior. I could not run the door interior down any further on this side, so this door interior is per the mock, because it does run into that cylinder, and I'm not about to have a whole nother string of headaches. Like I said, I could fix a lot of my issues by getting rid of that spring cylinder, but not only did I spend the money to get these in black so they looked a little bit better, I like that it locks the chair into place, and it kind of really locks that whole slide into place and makes everything rigid. So it's really helping more than hurting. So I'm completely fine with that. I'm really happy with that. We still have all the interior detail and everything. The doors work. That's the big thing, is all the doors are working properly. So huge success. Overall, I would say these are basically a 100% success. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't feel like I didn't get something that I really wanted out of it. I got what I wanted out of these cars. I got the detail, I got the looks, I got everything that I wanted, and these things are just so awesome, guys. I love how these look. And especially to have a car that's in a movie that's not even out yet, that was pretty cool. I basically, the second I knew that they were making another movie, I kind of started planning and getting another Ecto set, and then I basically just kind of waited till we got to see the very first photos of the car. That was our first time seeing the stripes, seeing the dome, before we even knew what the dome was for yet. So I mean, it's been pretty early on in the process, and even as current as the newest trailers that gave me a really good glimpse at the rack and allowed me to build that per the prototype. So thank God they did that, because I would have left some details out there, and then I would have had to gone back and rebuild the rack again. So that helped me save me some time from rebuilding that. So, but seriously, guys, let me know what you think. I'm pretty proud of myself. I feel like I did a decent job on these. I feel like I did as good as I could. Just for my brain capacity. It's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money just in parts. I think I have a lot more money into buying parts for the mock and for my other changes than I do the actual just the straight Lego set itself. So these are not a cheap thing to build. If you do it like this, just doing Linza's mock, you need to buy a lot of parts if you do not have them on hand. Some of that was really stretching even my nice inventory that I have. I have a lot of parts, but going into this, when I was doing the Ecto-1 and 1A, I had to buy a lot of parts for those cars that I just didn't have enough of. I had the parts, I just didn't have enough of them. And then especially to go and do 2 more of these cars, it was a lot. So I stocked up on a lot of parts over the past couple of years building these cars, and actually kind of got some more stuff into my inventory because I over-ordered because a lot of these parts are parts that I know I'm going to use, and it's all stuff that I like building with. So it was an expense that I was willing to take on, and I needed to take on to be able to achieve these cars the way I did. So yeah, I love just sitting back and looking at them. They are awesome. These cars came out so cool, and I'm proud to own these. I am proud that I have all the time and effort into getting these ready, and I'm really happy that I could share this with you guys, so that way if you do want to build it with the mock, and then if you want to go and add more details than what the mock offers, that's what I'm giving you here. I'm showing you a really nice, well done mock, and then some of the stuff that I wanted to change and make a little bit better on my version. So, and I've said this before, I am not bashing Linza's mock at all. Super awesome mock, free on Rebrickable. Super nice to have that for free. I would strongly suggest, if you want to build the car, go on there, download the mocks for the 1 and 1A. It's just be ready, because if you don't have the stock, you're going to need to spend some money on some parts, and it's a lot of parts. So but well worth it, in my opinion. It's well worth it. But I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. The second this set came out, I was like super excited about it, and I kind of showed. I did have a set built originally, and it was just the normal build, but I like to kind of go, and I actually paid money for a mock, and the mock really wasn't that nice on it, and then I came across Linza's mock, and then that kind of changed my whole view and really excited me about these projects. So so yeah, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed my videos. I do apologize. I know my videos ain't the greatest out there, but I do my best to give you guys what you want to see out of these cars and what I want out of these cars. And so, like I said, next couple videos I'm gonna tackle a couple viewer requests, especially with the next video. We're gonna do rack modifications on the original Ecto-1, and I'm gonna show you guys what I've changed on that. And I'm gonna have the mock up on my computer so I can kind of show you guys as well how it is per the mock, and then what I'm changing. And then we'll do a video of all 4 Ectos together. After I make my changes, I have a handful of changes on both the cars that I need to make. And then we'll do all 4 cars, and then another viewer request that I will do is my custom gurney for the Ecto-1 and 1A. If you guys saw those videos, you will remember that I didn't care much for how the mock gurney was. It wasn't right. I wanted the wheels to work right. I wanted the gurneys to go in and out nice. I even made pack changes to help them fit better. So you guys can refer back to that video, but I will go over those changes again and kind of go through my gurney and how I designed it. And so yeah, guys, we're done with these projects, but we're still not for the Ghostbusters and Ecto fans. We're still not done with the Ecto videos quite yet. So hopefully you're looking forward to some of that stuff as I get into a little bit more detail. And if there is anything that you guys specifically want to see, feel free to leave it in the comments, because if it's not too crazy, if it doesn't deal with me completely disassembling the car, I am more than happy enough to show you guys whatever I did. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I just kind of wanted to do a chill reveal of the two cars done. They're just awesome. We'll get a back view here. Haven't really got a good back view yet. There we go, guys. There's the back ends of the car. Even little details like using silver collars for the exhaust on the cleaned up cars, and then just using the light gray collars for the exhaust on this car. Just little details like that for color. Same thing with the gas cap. Silver on that one, just gray on that one. Of course, you guys can see the rust on the doors, or on the door on that one. Nothing on that one. The lights, I love how the lights contrast against each other. It really puts this car in its time frame that it needs to be, so it's pretty cool. And then we get the really nice refreshed version, so it's super awesome. Interior, you guys have seen that. Like I said, that might change eventually if I can see what's going on in the car nowadays. And then my little miniaturized ghost remote control ghost trap. Had to make some changes to that to get that to fit. Like I talked about that in the last video. Went from having space for like a 6x6 square to a 4x4 square, so I really needed to make this a little bit tinier. So I lost a few things, but did my best to kind of regain on some of the details on that, and it sits in there really nice. And then I can't really show them that well anymore, but you guys got to see all the instrument racks and the boxes and all that stuff when I had the cars apart, so won't bother you with too much of that. You guys can kind of see the interiors of the doors. Those doors are per the mock build, so nothing really changed on those. I will be changing the one on the 1A though. The 1A has kind of a different window build. It's not just this single piece of glass. I'm going to change that back to the single piece of glass and try to get like all the windows and all the doors back to where they're all kind of fitting the same and looking the same, and just kind of go from there. So, but I am super stoked with how these look. They came out awesome. So much work into these. Like really a lot of work went into these, and my opinion, it all paid off. I absolutely love how these came out. So sorry if this video is a little bit boring. I just kind of want to sit back and enjoy the cars. I spend all this time planning and building and changing and doing some more changes, and then after you change that, you do some more changes. So it's kind of a process. So once they're done, it is really nice just to sit back and enjoy the fruits of my labor. So, but I think I'm gonna call it, guys. We're almost at a 30-minute video of just staring at some cool cars. So like I said, hopefully you're excited for the next videos where I kind of show some detail, and then when we finally get to see all four together. I have not put all four cars side by side yet. I'm kind of saving that for the video because I want that to be kind of its own special moment. Because it's going to be insane to see all four next to each other. So hopefully you guys are excited to see some more Ecto content before we move on to our next project. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed, and until next time, take care.